Hi everyone, a visit to Tel Shiloh, Nadav Arnon's gibberish music, Meorot Hadaf Hayomi's 7th birthday, remembering Rabbi Shach, and a visit to Rosh Pina. Let's get the show on the road. Shalom and welcome to Israeli Salad. Let's begin with a tour of a site which is both beautiful and historical. We're now off to Tel Shiloh. At first glance, Shiloh looks like just another modern Sumerian community. Private cars and trucks pass by on the road connecting the central coastal area of Israel with the Shomron. But this road actually takes us back thousands of years. In the days of the judges, Shiloh was Israel's religious center, being the home of the tabernacle and the Ark of the Covenant, containing the Ten Commandments. Today, Shiloh is a flourishing and vibrant community, while right next to the town is Tel Shiloh, the archaeological site of the ancient Shiloh, where, according to many estimates, the tabernacle, the Mishkan, used to stand. A tour in Shiloh is a tour between past and present, between the paragraphs of the Tanakh and the archaeological findings.
There are a few ways to understand that this is ancient Shiloh. First of all, the Arabs preserved its name. But a name is not enough. Here we can see how in a place where there is holiness, the sanctity is preserved by all the religions. The Christians established churches here, the Muslims built mosques, and buried under all this are Jewish relics from the time of the Mishnah and the Talmud.
To reach the site, we walk on a path to the top of the mound. On the way up, we see the mosaic floor that was discovered.
This mosaic floor that we see here is 1,700 years old. It includes a mosaic that reads, "Peace on the residents of Shiloh."
This is the viewpoint of Tel Shiloh. Here we can see the remains of an ancient wine press, many ancient caves, and burial areas. And the viewpoint offers stunning scenery. The Jewish Sumerian communities of Ma'ale Levona, Ariel, Eli, and the hills of Binyamin. The path takes us back down to the location where it is believed that the tabernacle sat. It was here where the land of Israel was divided to the tribes, and it was here where the nation gathered in times of distress. The tabernacle was the sanctuary that was used until the Holy Temple was built. Today, as we are still awaiting the rebuilding of the Holy Temple, the synagogues serve as mikdashei me'at, minor temples. This is the synagogue of the community of Shiloh. The founders of this synagogue decided that it should be a monument of the tabernacle.
This synagogue was built resembling the shape of the tabernacle. There are 20 pillars like in the Mishkan. The ceiling looks like the cloths that covered the Mishkan. The Torah reading centerpiece resembles the altar. To get up to the women's section, you walk up a ramp. And the Torah Ark resembles the Holy Ark, which contained the Ten Commandments.
Lyrics are usually a very important part of a song, but the young musician we will now meet thinks otherwise. Let's visit Nadav Arnon and hear his unique compositions.
Haya waye, hadibadi mani maya hayadaba, hadibadi bani maya hayavo, humbaya kata yamane yamalaya. זה בעצם מילים.
These are the words from one of my songs. They are words with no meaning.
בדיסק. זה בעצם מילים שאין להם שום משמעות כביכול.
Whoever hears the album is swept away with the music. So when he hears the chorus, it doesn't bother him. He continues to flow with the music. He doesn't understand, but he understands everything. It's higher than words.
פתאום, הוא לא מבין, אבל הוא מבין הכל. זה כאילו, זה אומר הרבה מעבר למשמעות הפשוטה של המילים.
Nadav Arnon is a young musician. He learns in the Hester Yeshiva in Otniel. From a young age, Nadav has been playing the piano and organ. His first album is called Sfat HaNeshama, the language of the soul.
שפת הנשמה. שהשיר בעצם מדבר על שלפעמים אין צורך במילים, כי המילים מרוב מילים...
In my song, The Language of the Soul, I sing, because there are so many words, we get mixed up. We don't know what to decide. We've got a big mess in our heads. And so sometimes the pure and simple music does the job. And this is where the gibberish comes in.
פה בעצם מגיע כל העניין הזה של הג'יבריש שאפשר לשמוע בדיסק המון.
Nadav combines words, unique music, and lots of gibberish, and offers a special musical and sometimes spiritual experience.
פה החידוש, פה שאני מנסה לתת משהו חדש לעם, זה המוזיקה.
Something different that I'm trying to bring is to show that you could use the music to convey a message in a much deeper way than by using words.
יותר מהמילים הפשוטות, כי המוזיקה היא... כשאנשים שומעים מוזיקה אין להם את ה...
When people hear music, they have no way to examine if it's correct or not. Music penetrates. It gets into you. It does what it does, and it does it sometimes better than words. There's no doubt about that.
We'll end today's program with some more music from Nadav Arnon.
Please send your comments, ideas, and questions to the Israeli Salad email, yoni@israelnn.com, or leave a message on the Israeli Salad voicemail at international dialing code 972-3918-5554. That's 972-3918-5554.
Throughout our programs, we've covered many celebrations that mark the completion of the learning of tractates of the Talmud as part of the Daf Yomi system of learning a page of Talmud a day. One of the largest organizations that promotes this is Me'orot HaDaf HaYomi. Their 7th birthday is a great opportunity to join another Torah learning celebration. What brought together Torah scholars, lawyers, businessmen, and more? First of all, was the completion of the learning of another tractate of Talmud. But for the founder of Me'orot HaDaf HaYomi organization, there is another meaning for this event.
With God's help, we are tonight marking 7 years of learning and activity of the Me'orot HaDaf HaYomi organization. Throughout these 7 years, 12,000 people join the Daf Yomi learning thanks to our organization. Every day these people leave their homes at morning or night to learn one page of Talmud, and they bring back to their homes the happiness, the joyousness of Torah learning. And that way the whole family connects to the Creator of the world through the pages of the Talmud. The wholeness comes from the connection between soul and body.
Friends of Me'orot HaDaf HaYomi held an evening of tribute to the organization.
המשק הישראלי מצדיע היום לרב קובלסקי.
The economy is saluting Rabbi Kowalski. And why? Because he gave us the opportunity and privilege to taste from the water springs of the wisdom, understanding, and knowledge of our sages of blessed memory from years ago. Every day we have a 45-minute taste of these pure waters. Now we decided to salute Rabbi Kowalski, that, thanks to him, we are a bit closer to this wisdom. 7 years ago, it was time to begin a new tractate of Talmud. We started a new learning group in a synagogue where I serve as rabbi. It was a small group, learning in memory of Rabbi Moshe Yitzchak Zisser, a Jew who learned Daf Yomi for more than 40 years and passed away around 7 years ago. And then I said, let's establish a Daf Yomi yeshiva. So we established a small yeshiva with 10 students. Every day we learned together for 4 hours, preparing to give over a Talmud Daf Yomi lesson with happiness and joy. Later on, we started the Daf Yomi Torah sheet. In the beginning, 1,000 copies, then 2,000. I'm like a matchmaker. The match is between the Torah educators and those who learn. The nicest thing is that in the beginning, when I started with it, the lawyers in my office felt that they should come in and join the learning to satisfy the boss, that is me. Today, when there is a doubt if Rabbi Kowalski will be coming in to give over the lesson, they remind me how once they did not enjoy it that much. Today, every city has many learning groups. Now we need to pray that we will be able to connect everyone, not only observant Jews, but also those whose inner soul wants them to be close. Through the Talmud, they can connect. Today, after 7 years, we understand that we're just at the beginning of our mission. We must thank God who helps us bring light to so many people.
On Tuesday, November 7th, we marked the passing of Rabbi Shach of blessed memory. On the anniversary of his passing, we visited his gravesite in Bnei Brak. 5 years ago, on the 16th of Cheshvan, 5762, the great Torah scholar Rabbi Elazar Menachem Man Shach of righteous blessed memory, who was for many years the spiritual leader of the Haredi, the ultra-Orthodox community, was taken to his eternal rest. The Torah world lost one of its pillars. On Tuesday, many of his students and those who respect his memory came to his grave in the Bnei Brak cemetery to cry and pray.
Since yesterday morning, I have seen a cross-section of all of the public, from all parts of the spectrum, all types. Rabbi Shach was one of the great scholars of Israel. It's the anniversary of his death, and an honor to come here. It's important to come to the grave of a tzaddik, a righteous man, on the anniversary of his death. I grew up here in the area, and I know a lot of what he did for the community, for every person who needed it. He wrote in his will that he will pray for anyone who will learn a Mishnah or a thought of Jewish ethics at his grave, and help him raise up his soul. I think a Jew who is entirely drenched in Torah for more than 100 years has this ability.
In the 1960s, Rabbi Shach was named head of the Ponovitch Yeshiva in Bnei Brak, which he led until the end of his life. On the anniversary of his death, we meet students of the yeshiva who missed the beloved and revered head of the yeshiva.
It was my honor to get to know him really closely during the good years, as well as during the years he was very sick. We accompanied him with deep worry, as students do for their rabbi. We prayed, and today, 5 years later, all of us are here to pray for our generation. The impression that he left on us in the yeshiva continues to this day throughout the year. The yeshiva heads continue his ways, as well as his teaching and learning methods.
Rabbi Shach was more than a leader of a yeshiva. He was one of the great leaders of Israel, who was famous for his expertise in Torah, Talmud, and Jewish law, but also for his unique personality.
You see this big congregation, all of his students who have come to pray at his grave on the 5th anniversary of his death. You see the special relationship he established with the students. Once Rabbi Shach entered the yeshiva. Naturally, when the yeshiva head enters, everyone rises. And I too stood up to give Rabbi Shach a place to sit, but he refused. He said, "You sit and I'll stand." I think he wanted to show us what the image of a rabbi really is, how he teaches a student. When you are learning, there's nothing more important in the world. I'll get by. And this relationship shows that these are his true sons, not just me, his only biological son. These are his real sons, as it is written about everyone who teaches his son Torah, as if they were his own son. And look at all the people who have come to pray, and may there be a growing army of Torah students on behalf of the people of Israel. And believe me, we need it.
עבור עם ישראל, והאמן לי, אנחנו זקוקים לזה. הדבר היסודי זה לימוד התורה, וזה מה שהם צריכים
The most basic thing is learning Torah, and that's what they have to learn when they come here and pray at my father's grave.
זה דמות של מנהיג כזה, לא היה למעלה...
There hasn't been a leader like this for more than 500 years, not in the religious Haredi sector. He was a special man because he always sat and learned, so he spoke simply, always by way of the divine word. The Steepler Rabbi said about him that the Shekhinah's heavenly voice spoke through his throat, and what he said was right. One day a steady rain fell in Bnei Brak. We were on our way home after our daily lesson. Rabbi Shach walked in with his umbrella closed. He did not notice because he was concentrating so much on his Torah learning.
Although he was an Ashkenazic leader, Rabbi Shach was considered a great spiritual leader among the sectors of the religious public. In 1984, he was one of the founders of the Shas movement, a party that appealed to the Sephardic Jews.
He had a complete love of Israel without differentiating at all, without any discrimination between Sephardim and Ashkenazim. He did everything in the name of heaven.
הוא עשה את זה לשם שמיים, הכל.
הוא שייך לכלל ישראל. הוא מסר את נפשו בשביל כלל ישראל.
He belongs to all of Israel. He sacrificed himself for all of Israel. All the yeshivot in the country today exist because of him. How he gave them strength, how he prayed, how he gave advice, how he gave guidance. He belonged to all of Israel.
Rabbi Shach of righteous blessed memory talked about relations between religion and state more than once. What makes you Jewish? He painfully asked kibbutz residents in one of his famous speeches. Now, at the height of days of protest about the profaning of the holiness of Jerusalem, it is felt at his gravesite in Bnei Brak just how much he is missed.
The figure of Rabbi Shach is missing every minute, every hour. I pray to him that he will protect us. As they say, the righteous live in their death. I hope that he will help us now.
We started today's program with a visit to Tel Shiloh. Now let's visit another magnificent location, Rosh Pina. "124 years have passed since the establishment of Rosh Pina, so now it's time to come and visit this picturesque Galilean town." The story of Rosh Pina begins with a group of young Jews. They decide to leave Tzfat in order to establish an agricultural farming community. In 1882, they settle here and call this area Rosh Pina. A sound and light show presented in one of the historical structures in Rosh Pina tells the story of the community. Our walking tour begins at the restoration site, where some of the historical homes and buildings have been restored. In the home of Professor Mur, the malaria researcher, there still are all the utensils and tools that he used to try to battle the deadly disease. And this is the synagogue. Nearby there is an outlook with a view of the cemetery, located near the Rosh Pina River. As we stroll down Rosh Pina's main road, we can learn by looking at the explanations and pictures about the history of Rosh Pina. And even when it comes to culinary issues, Rosh Pina has something unique to offer. This restaurant is located in one of the old structures. It's kosher and tasty. The structure served as the offices of the Customs Authority, as Rosh Pina was once a border town, on the border between the British and the French-controlled areas of the land of Israel. Okay, that's all for this week, but surprise, we have here 3 viewers who came to visit Israel, and they're here visiting their favorite TV program? Their favorite TV program, you heard that? Israeli Salad. How are you guys doing?
Good.
What are your names?
Yitzchak, Tova, Tehila.
Okay, you want to say goodbye to all our viewers? First of all, how do you like our program?
It's really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's great.
What do you like especially about Israeli Salad?
It's fun to watch and it's all positive. It tells us a lot about Israel.
Yeah, you've learned a lot about Israel?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's all say shalom to all our viewers. Shalom!
Hello.
We'll be back next time. Join us again then. Until then,
Bye.
shalom! Bye.
מתבלבלים, אז היום לא נשתמש בשפת השכל, נדבר בשפת הנשמה. ומשיח בן דוד יבוא ויעש גם בית מקדש שלישי ייבנה ואז כולם יהיו הכי שמחים, הכי מאוחדים, הכי מאושרים ואז כולם יהיו הכי שמחים, הכי מאוחדים, הכי מאושרים אז הרבה שנים אז היום לא נשתמש בשפת השכל, נדבר בשפת הנשמה.
Yeah.